On 16 and 17, we're asked to determine whether the two statements are equivalent. And one way that we can do that is by using our truth tables and look and see if the answer column of each statement, if they are identical. So I'm going to fill in this truth table. I've already gotten it started where we have our 4 different cases. And then I've written both of the statements. So let's find and fill in the truth table for this first statement. And to do that, I begin with negation of P, so that would be false, false, true, true. Q is going to be copying that column down exactly, true, false, false. And then for a conditional statement, if it's true, the only time that it's going to be false is if I have an if true, then false statement. So for that one, I'll have all true. And then this one case where I would have a false answer. And then we take that column and we want to negate it. So as I negate that column, I would get false, 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 true. So the answer column for this particular statement, it is a negation. So it would be false, 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 true. Okay, if we go to the other statement, I'd copy down the P column of true, true, false, false, negation of Q, so we'll take the opposite truth value from what's listed for Q, and that would be false, true, false, true. For a disjunction, we'll look for any time where I have both false. So false or false would give me a false answer. Everything else would be true. So the answer column for this disjunction would be true, true, false, true. And you can see as I go to compare those two columns that they're not identical. So this would be considered for number 16, those two statements are not equivalent.